Hey there, and welcome. Let's talk about something I know a lot of you struggle with: English listening. It's so frustrating when you can hear the words, but you just miss the meaning, right? Well, the good news is that's something you can totally fix. Today, we are going to break down 10 simple but really powerful habits that are going to supercharge your listening skills. So let's just dive right in. So, does this sound familiar? You're watching a movie, maybe you're in a conversation, and you can hear everything. You even recognize most of the words one by one. But when they're all spoken together at full speed, the meaning, it just kind of vanishes into thin air. If you're nodding your head right now, you are definitely not alone. And there's actually a name for this. It's called the listening wall. It's that point where, yeah, your reading skills are getting pretty good, but your listening comprehension just feels stuck. It can't seem to catch up. But don't you worry, because we've got a plan to help you tear that wall down. First, we're going to understand what this wall even is. Then we'll build a really strong foundation, learn how to practice with purpose, see how to actually live your English, and finally, get you started on your path to success.
Okay, so what is this listening wall really? Well, think about it. When you read, you're in control. You set the pace. You can stop, you can go back, look up a word. But listening, that happens in real time. There's no pause button in a real conversation, right?
And this is maybe the most important thing to get. Breaking through this wall, it's not about memorizing thousands more vocabulary words. It's about retraining your brain on how you listen. You got to think of it like a muscle you need to build, not just a bunch of facts you need to learn.
And, building any new skills starts with getting the foundation right. So before we jump into any specific exercises, we need to get our mindset straight. This is, without a doubt, the most important first step to making any real progress.
So let's start with two of these foundational habits. First, you have got to embrace imperfection. Seriously, that pressure to understand every single word, that's what causes all the panic and stress. It is okay to miss things. And second, you need to shift your focus. Stop trying to catch every word and just listen for the gist. What's the main point here? Who's talking? Are they happy? Are they sad? Just getting the main idea is a huge, huge win. Just always remember this. The goal here is progress, not perfection. You don't have to be perfect by tomorrow. You just need to be a little bit better than you were yesterday. Being patient with yourself is absolutely key.
All right, so with that new mindset in place, we can move on to our next set of habits. Now it's time to make the shift from just passively hearing English noise to actively practicing with some real purpose.
There is a massive difference between passive hearing and active listening. Passive hearing is like having a podcast on in the background while you're cleaning. I mean, it's better than nothing, sure, but it's not focused practice. Active listening is when you put your phone away, you turn everything else off, and for just 10 or 15 minutes, listening is your only job. You become a detective, and you're hunting for clues in the sound. So one of the best active techniques is called shadowing. It's actually pretty simple. You play a short audio clip and you try to speak along with the person at the same time. You're trying to copy their rhythm, their intonation, the melody of their voice. What this does is it connects what your ears hear directly to the muscles in your mouth, and that builds a really powerful connection in your brain.
Another fantastic habit is transcription. And believe me, it is not as scary as it sounds. All you do is listen to one short sentence, then pause it, write down exactly what you think you heard, then play it again to check your work. This is basically like weightlifting for your ears. It really trains you to pick up on those little connected sounds and word endings that are so easy to miss. Now, to make these practices even more powerful, try to stick with just one source for a little while, like binge one podcast series or one TV show. This lets your ear get really comfortable with one person's voice, their accent, and their speed. Oh, and one more thing. Always use English subtitles, not subtitles in your native language. You want your brain to connect the English sounds to the English words. So, we've got our mindset right, and we've got our active practice sessions. But let's be real, you can't be actively practicing all day, every day. So this next set of habits is all about weaving English into your daily life so it doesn't even feel like work. This is where it gets really fun. We're talking small, easy changes. Switch your phone's language to English. Find a podcast you actually think is interesting for your commute. Rewatch your favorite movie, but this time in English. Follow a few creators on social media that you love, but who speak English. It's all about creating your own little English world. Look, immersion doesn't mean you have to pack up and move to another country. It's really just about creating these small, consistent points of contact with the language all throughout your day. Every little bit counts, and trust me, it all adds up.
And that brings us to the finish line. We've gone all the way from figuring out what that frustrating listening wall is to building a complete toolkit to help you tear it down one brick at a time.
So what you have now are 10 real manageable habits. This isn't some giant, impossible mountain you have to climb. It's just a series of small, doable steps that, when you do them, lead to real, noticeable improvement.
So this is the most important point. If you only take away one thing from all of this, please let it be this. The secret is not intensity. It's not about some weekend where you study for 8 hours straight. It's about 15 minutes of focused, consistent practice day in and day out. That's it.
And this is where it gets real. Don't look at this list of 10 things and feel overwhelmed. Don't try to do them all at once. Just pick one. Just one thing from this list that sounds kind of interesting or easy to start with. So my question for you is, which new habit are you going to start today?